Kentucky State football made history this past weekend when it won its second game of the season against a Division I opponent. The Thorobreds won 33-25 against Jackson State in the Circle City Classic in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. In the 2019 opener, they upset Robert Morris on the road in Pittsburgh in a 13-7 win. Second-year head coach Charlie Jackson took time out to talk with Oscar Woodall of Haywood Media and Mista of KySports about the team's early success.
All right, doing all right. I've got Tony Johnson here with me on the call also, if you don't mind.
How you doing, Coach?
Oh, perfectly fine. I am doing awesome, guys. Doing awesome. Thanks so much.
It's good to talk to you.
Hey, great to talk to you guys. Another beautiful day in paradise. Let's enjoy it.
Right.
A beautiful day in paradise.
No question. No question.
You still riding that high from the weekend?
No, on to the next game. On to the next game. On to the next one. Got in here last night and did the grading and did what we needed to do concerning last game. And we put that to bed, and now it's on to the next one. That's the good thing about football and the bad thing about football. But the reality is we got to deal with a pretty tough game coming up at Morehouse.
Well, I know that you guys are doing well on the road. You know, what do you tell your guys to get them prepared to do so well on the road?
You know, I don't. We have our standard protocol. It's nothing special. We have our way that we set things up. It's basically most off of the different programs that I've been around at the college level and around the NFL. And I've got our setup. Is designed to. I massage things to the way what I feel is best, and we do prioritize a lot of together time, a lot of downtime, and a lot of rest time when we get on the road. So we want them at a premium athletically and mentally. We don't want them fatigued when we get out on the playing field. So we've got our setup, but it mirrors our setup on for home games really. So we just try to be as consistent as we can. Again, have them mentally and physically ready to go at kickoff.
Yeah, Joe, I'm going to ask you, let's back up just ever so slightly here. 33-25 over Jackson State. Again, another Division I, a victory over a Division I school. And, of course, something never been done, a victory over two D1 schools in the same season. That's something that everybody's proud of, and I know you're going to be modest, but you have to really be proud as well because you're the one that's leading this charge.
Yeah, I am. And, with it is, hats off to the young men for, what a great effort. Jackson State loaded in every regard. You guys saw their players, their skill position players, just premier, big, fast, strong, the whole nine. And, the same thing with, their defensive players from the line all the way through the back end. Very, very well coached football program, and we were fortunate enough to get the victory. I am thankful that, as we grow and as we learn and build our program, that we can get, some highs like this. When you get a high, that locker room atmosphere was outstanding. And it's just great for our young men and great for the coaching staff to get some victories and get some positive energy in the process of building. Because the fact of the matter is, usually when you think of rebuilding processes, you think of losses and you think of the tough times. But we're going through some tough times right now. Don't get me wrong. You did not see a perfect football game by far. And there are so many things as we get back with our guys today. There are so many things that we have to correct and so many things that we have to get better at. But again, it's important to, and what makes the process a little bit sweeter is when you cannot play your best and still come out with a win. That's as good as you can ask for, frankly, because we understand that there are going to be some bumps in the road, but we have to continue to persevere and continue to push ourselves and maximize our potential. Talk about it every day. That's the life that we're going to live. We've committed to that life, and again, it was great to see our guys get some positive energy and a victory over an awesome Jackson State team.
Like you said, dancing with the one you brung, as they say. Well, you guys were up 33-0, and the final score again 33-25. Explain how you got up 33-0 and how Jackson State was allowed to put up 25.
Well, they came out and kind of we didn't respond to their tempo, which was sort of disappointing. But bottom line is we didn't do it. We did not respond to their tempo, and it caused us to get shaken a little bit early. And I don't care how much I preach about it or talk about it. There's no substitute for experience. And when you start in sixth freshman and they're in that type of atmosphere, I think maybe that kind of got to us a little bit early. I really do. But we settled down and we were able to make some adjustments, make some corrections towards the middle of the game, man. My gosh. I thought our guys really responded and played well. I want to say maybe there were 3, 4, 5 very short series, 3-and-outs, that type stuff. Culminating with a strip, forced fumble, touchdown there on defense. And so we were kind of on an emotional high there and riding high. And then we showed our immaturity yet again. We're up, 3 touchdowns, and we kind of took our foot off the gas, and you've got to close the deal there. You've got to close the deal there, but you could see, even as we go back and grade the tape, we did not have a killer mentality. We didn't have a finisher's mentality, if you will. We just let them back in the game, and that's sad, and that's disappointing, and discouraging in a lot of areas. But we'll get that corrected, and we'll continue to grow and try to get better. Offensively, we clicked a little bit better. Again, this is our 3rd game. As I told you, slowly but surely we'll get better and more comfortable as we get more opportunities at live repetitions against superior competition. And I think our guys are slowly but surely coming around concerning that. Able to make some plays on the perimeter, able to make some plays down the middle, able to get a little something going with our reverse game, and a couple of down the field explosive plays in the past game. So we felt good about all that. But again, long way to go, and we'll just keep working, see how good we can get.
Well, Charlie, you being a military man and me being a military man myself, we both understand the phrase that when you step on it, you want to break it. And that's what you said. When the guys stepped on it, they forgot to step harder and break it. So those things will happen, but they'll learn. Let's look ahead here. Next game, you get back into conference play, but you're playing a team from the SIAC East, and that being Morehouse. Again, you're back on the road. So now, what do you tell your players after having the 2 highs and, of course, the 1 low being the loss against Tuskegee, that was at home. It was a conference foe from the West. But now, again, you're up against Morehouse. What are you telling you guys?
Well, we have yet to dominate our responsibility. And so it's important for me to be consistent. It's important for me to go back in here with the same messaging. And you can see the improvement slowly but surely. But it's all about individual responsibility. All right. And we'll go out here today. We'll take the practice field and we'll make the corrections that we need to make. Because if you don't get things corrected, you can expect to see teams challenge you with the same type of stuff the next week. I mean, Morehouse is obviously a very well-coached football team. And, that coach has been down there for a long time. They have great respect for him and great respect for his program. They have some tremendous athletes, and, again, they have an awesome club from top to bottom. But if we don't correct those things from last week, okay, that we did not finish the game like we wanted to finish. And we can expect some of those same type concepts as we go into this week. So we have to be mentally tough and physically tough in that we have to come in, have an awesome week of practice, and not continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. I think our guys will respond, but, we like to use the phrase around here, if it's to be, it's up to me. And each man has to look at himself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm going to sacrifice for my brother to make sure I'm on top of my game this week. We'll study with them. Got a lot of film work, a lot of film time to do. and we'll make sure we're maxing out in the film room, and then we'll also have a great weightlifting day as well. We've got to make sure we're maxing out in that regard, and then we need to make sure also that we're maxing out from a resting standpoint. All right, what do I mean? I mean, look, we ask our guys to do a lot, and we run them a ton, and we ask them to sacrifice on Saturday. But it's important for them to have the right nutrition plan, and it's important for them to get the right rest, and that we're hydrated, and that we're ready to go on Saturday. That process doesn't just start the night before the game, a Friday, where you just come in and say, okay, well, make sure you get some rest, make sure you drink a lot of water. No, that process starts from the beginning of the week, and we have our process that takes us all the way up through the game, and hopefully a successful outcome at the end of the game on Saturday.
Now, Morehouse is struggling. They're 1-3. The one win was a close win for them. So what do you tell you guys? I know they look at the stats. They go online. They see what everybody else can see. So what do you do to tell them to not get over their skis, to not get the big head, as the cliche goes, knowing that Morehouse is struggling when you look at their record?
Yeah, a very immature person would do that, and so there is that fear, just because we have a young team and we haven't been around before, so there is that fear. But we haven't accomplished in the big picture. We came out and we made a little history, but that has nothing to do with the outcome of this week. You have to go out and try your best, and you have to go out and try to execute, and you have to go out and try to out-physical your opponent. In other words, these guys from Morehouse are not going to give you anything. You have to go out and take it. There's, again, an established program, and though they kind of had a couple of heartbreakers, their game against Alabama A&M, I think it was, at the beginning of the year. My gosh, they lost that game on the last play of the game, and if not for that, we'd be having a different conversation right now. We'd be talking about how they have knocked off an FCS foe as well, but they weren't able to close the deal. So, that's just the reality of where we're at. College football, football at any level, you have to be ready to go every single week. There's going to be nothing given to you. But I think our guys are up for the challenge. So, we'll see what we do, and we'll see what the outcome is on Saturday.
All right, well, Coach, let's address the elephant in the room, the passing game for Kentucky State. What's going on with the passing game? I know you'd like to get the ball in the air, and so what is the game plan to shore up the passing game and put the ball in the air a little more than you have?
Well, that's not an elephant in the room for me. What I'm trying to do is get the win. So whether we've got to run it 100 times or throw it 100 times, as long as we get the W at the end of the day, that's my deal. So we would love to have a balanced attack, but obviously what we try to do, we try to come out and punch you in the mouth and win the ball game by running the football and playing defense. That's my philosophy, and that's what I think is best. But I'm not into stats other than trying to put our guys in position to be successful to win. So that's my deal concerning looking pretty and all that right there. That's for somebody else.
I truly understand. And of course, you're not in the stats, but I will say that the odds of winning, your percentage of winning, is very high when you are able to run the ball, and that's what you're doing. You seems like you're playing the odds, and you know this, and fans should know that.
I think, and you're right on right there, but I think that the important part when you try to do what we do is be timely and be able to capitalize on the opportunities that you do have, especially with our play action game. Like, for example, bringing up this past weekend, there we had a couple of open touchdowns where we missed on long balls. We connected on the one, and everybody's focusing on that positive play because we won. But there were still more plays that we left out on the field that you're disappointed with. And the same thing the previous week against Tuskegee. where we missed one that was down in the middle of the field. But we'll shore that up. But the ultimate stat though is trying to do what it takes to get the W. And I think for this week, at least mission accomplished.
Hey, Charlie, your team is relatively healthy, and that's a blessing. After 3 games, going up against, again, 2 D1s where the guys are bigger, stronger, faster, quicker. And like I said, relatively speaking, you came away unscathed. That's something you look at and have to be grateful for.
Well, yes, but what I'm more thankful for is just the effort of the young men, frankly. Just the effort of the young men coming out every day, sacrificing to get better for not only themselves, but sacrificing for their brothers on the team, and representing the university with class, going out and trying to sacrifice again to maximize their potential. That's what I'm most proud of. And, talent is talent, and you're right in that. Maybe if you just look at the number of pro prospects, and if you look at the tail of the tape, if you look at the speed and height, weight stuff, and things like that, we don't match up against a lot of Division I foes, and we haven't, in either of those 2 football games. But we're going to work and continue to scratch and claw, and continue to try to put our young men in position to be successful.
Now, Charlie, my last question. Tony may have some more, but talked to a number of coaches around the HBCU football. Most recently, Rod Freeman down there at Tennessee State. I understand you have a little history with him. You've talked to him. You've got one of his ex-ball players there, Anthony Jeter. And he's everybody seems to be paying attention to what's going on at Kentucky State after what you guys have done. And he gives you high praise, and others are giving you high praise. How do you handle that? You yourself, it causes you to be humble just a little bit, I know, but does it cause you to sit back and just take a look and say, wow, I've only been here for this short period of time, and wow, do you have those moments?
I think maybe down the line, maybe in the off season or something, maybe you focus on that type of stuff. But right now, we're in the moment, and we have a process. If I expect our players, if I expect our coaching staff, anybody involved with our football operation, if I expect them to be on task and stay in the moment and stay focused, then I need to be making sure that I'm leading by example concerning that. So while it's great, I certainly accept and I'm thankful for the recognition and praise. But I've used the terms that a friend and mentor of mine used to, a rhetorical question he used to ask all the time. He said, have you ever seen a turtle on a fence post? And obviously the answer is generally no, because turtles don't climb. But if if you see a turtle on a fence post, it didn't get there by himself. And so I'm fully cognizant that we have a lot of people here from our university leadership, all the way down through our volunteers that are scratching and clawing and doing everything that we can to make this a better situation. And it's good, again, for our young men to have some positive energy. We embrace the fact of where we were, and we just recognize that we're moving forward. Coming in here, I told guys, I said, don't run from it. Last 17 ball games, we won in 16. Embrace it. Embrace the challenge that this is not, that this is not what we want to do. This is not how we want to behave. This is not how we want to act. This is not the result that we want. And let's set a different standard, a standard of excellence and high achievement, and we're well on our way. But the reality is, guys, and this is just being brutally honest with you, we're nowhere near where we need to be. We're not even remotely close. And we gotta temper it just a little bit for our guys, just to say, hey, stay in the moment and continue to try to get better. Don't think you're better than what you are. What you are, you're as good as your next play. And what we expect is a perfect play on the next play, and that's what we're going to try to get accomplished. We want our guys to come out and give their all and maximize from a mental perspective, whether they're aligning correctly, whether they're doing their assignment, whether they're making the appropriate adjustments, and then with tremendous effort on the staff and just give it everything they have. Those words are obviously very easy to say, but that's a hard life to live. That is very, very difficult to do, and it's our challenge to keep these guys focused and keep pushing in a direction that's going to better them for long-term success. Right now, we've had some short-term success. I embrace it. As I've said, in the history of Kentucky State University, never having defeated two Division I teams in the same year, and our guys should be proud. We've done that by the end of September, so that's big time. Don't get me wrong. Okay, that's big time. But as we've talked about, Oscar, especially you and I offline, long-term success in trying to build something that is sustainable. That's the goal. Not just having a couple of highs and lows here or there, but with a young football team, again, it's always good to have some success in the process of building.
Well, Coach, if I can quote Kentucky's native son, Muhammad Ali, or paraphrase, you're shaking up the world. especially in HBCU football. You're shaking up the world. Don't run from that. Speaking of running, don't. Tony, what you got?
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm curious, Coach, about with the early success that you've had. What kind of adjustments are you making as far as your outlook on what this team is able to do? How I know it's early in.
Well,
what can you say about how good you guys can be?
I don't know how much people focus on how much we change things up. Like, for example, there were two new inside linebackers that started the Circle City Classic game on Saturday. One particular, Jalen Johnson, has not played the college football game in his life. As a matter of fact, the first trip that he made was this week. He did not travel and did not participate in the first game against Robert Morris. The second game, he was not with the team and did not participate in the game against Tuskegee. So this is his first, but he impressed me with his work as a scout team player. Now, my full intent was for that young man to redshirt and not contribute this season. I wanted him to have that time to improve from a physical perspective. Obviously with all of our freshmen, we want them to get off to a great start academically. And, with that being said, that was my initial thought process with regard to Jalen. But this young man came out and, he worked his rear end off. And, frankly, we looked at some of our guys that we've had that were in place that weren't performing up to our standards. And in one way we wanted to shake things up, we shook up the starting lineup. Now, the average Joe says, well, Charlie, you're playing pretty good. You're giving up 10 points a game or whatever it is. How is that not your standard? Well, we try to give up 0 points per game, and that's the standard. So, what we're trying to do is maintain that edge and continue to try to push our guys in all aspects so that they recognize, hey, you know what, your effort on a day-to-day basis matters. So we ended up starting an inside linebacker that had never played a down of college football in that game the other day, and he ended up playing well. So week to week to week to week to week, we're going to do what we think it takes to be successful on the football field that particular week. There is no, formula that we're stuck in where we just believe, hey, you know what, this is how it's got to be. We have our philosophy on how things need to be done or what we would like to get done, but we don't let our philosophy and we don't let coach's ego get in the way of what putting the kids in position to be successful. And I do believe that things like that, having that attitude, that trickles down. That's my attitude. That's the attitude of the coaches. Certainly the attitude of our upperclassmen. They recognize that, hey, at any point, coach will throw an 18-year-old out there in a minute. And, it's something that obviously I have demonstrated that I don't just talk about it, I'll be about it. It's about your performance. And so these are the type of things that I think it's not meant to degrade our guys. It's either you're getting the job done or you're not.
Coach, I'd like to speak to about recruiting and how this early success, maybe changes your approach or even maybe reinforces your recruiting, and how you can say, hey, this is what I've been able to help build here at K-State. So going forward about joining the team, how does that help you with recruiting?
Well, this will be the first year where we've actually started the process on time. Last year I was hired on February 1st, and so you're immediately behind the sticks. You don't mind me using the football term. And so this is good that we can come out and go through the actual process of evaluation. Okay, so I think we brought in a lot of individuals last season. We relied on obviously our connections. We relied on a thorough evaluation that, hey, this is not going to be a quick fix. Okay, this is going to be a fix that is going to take some time, and we have to develop some depth. And right now we're in the process of developing that depth because we do not have it. We do not have the proper depth that we need to have, and that's where things like that red shirt program, things like that. That's where that comes in. Okay. Now, I do believe that having the success that we've had, I do believe we'll be a little bit more attractive come next off season when it's time to sign. I do think when you're able to come out and make history and you talk about the people that we beat and where the program is moving to, that'll provide more energy and that'll make you a whole lot more attractive, than it was last year where I'm trying to preach, hey, we're on a 12-game losing streak. Okay, I recognize, I understand that, but I think this energy means something. Okay, and we will use that to the best of our ability to help us in recruiting. But again, that starts off at the top of the university chain. President Brown talks about excellence without excuse, and we've embraced that. In the football program, we talk about compete against perfection. So there's an expectation that you give it everything you have, and that you're doing it for something. You're doing it for something more than just yourself and your own self-gratitude. We're trying to elevate Kentucky State. We're trying to elevate our athletic program as a whole, and we're also trying to elevate our team, obviously, to maximize its potential.
Well, Coach, congratulations on that success. And good luck this weekend. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Hey, no problem. Hey, hopefully we can do it again soon, guys.
Yeah, Charlie, I was going to say, we're coming up pretty close to lunch hour, and knowing that you're a big connoisseur of red meat, I want to wish you bon appetit, and maybe one day we'll sit down and fight over a rib or something like that.
I am looking forward to it, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right, we'll talk to you after you come back from Atlanta. Thanks for the moment.
Hey, take care now.
All right.